All right. All right. Look, see, that's what I be trying to tell people. I think I'm gonna have to start turning to like RaesTake time-ish. Cause I don't ever start on time. Ever start on time. Ever start on time. Don't matter. Because most people end up watching RaesTake at home in their bed late on at night and all that good stuff. So it don't even really be mattering that I be late. But I be late because it be y'all people. People, it wasn't my fault. I've been here. Y'all know Ray been, you see, I'm in the office. I'm in the office for a reason though. Because I was like, check it out. If this mother trucker coming on RaesTake, I can't be in the gym because there ain't no athlete no more. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody in front office. So I got to get in my office then. I ain't gonna be in the gym doing no RaesTake. And then she go over here all up in the big offices and stuff trying to come poo-poo on me on my show. You mean to poo-poo on me on my show, Kelly Wells, Brinkley, and all. In case they don't know who they talking to, tell the world who you are.
I'll give you my TV one. Hey, yeah, there's a TV one. Come on now, multifaceted.
I was gonna get to that. Keep going.
It's your girl, Kelly Wells Brinkley, your favorite Olympian, and if I'm not, I should be. But no, for real. I'm Kelly Brinkley, Kelly Wells, K-Dub. I got 1,000 names. Olympic medalist from 2012 in the 100-meter hurdles, now turned sports guru and one of Ray's close friends.
Hey. First of all, we're going to get to the track and field racing. Tell me about the TV stuff, because I don't know if a lot of people know you was on Amazing Race. So you should have known that's going to be the first thing I was going to pop out there. Like, how in the hell did y'all end up on Amazing Race? Like, I'm saying, when you told me, I was like, well, but then when I actually saw it on TV, I was cracking up. That shit was the funniest thing.
It was not funny.
What happened?
So my partner, Levon, we've been friends since before Hampton because we're both from Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So I've known her for legitimately most of my life. She called one day, I'm laying on the couch and she's like, yo, would your husband let you do the Amazing Race? And I was like, let? Who the hell is a let? What? And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's cool. Of course he would be down for it. So then I roll back over my own business. Next thing I know, my phone starts just going ham, notification after notification. I look, I thought she was joking. It's emails from casting of stuff that we have to fill out. And I'm like, what? This shit is real. Can I cuss on here?
Man, this is RaesTake. I usually put PG-13 at the end of it, so keep going, do your thing.
So then they were like, okay, we need you guys to make us a 2-minute casting video. Of course, we Black people, so ours went about 8.5 because we just had so much to say. So then the next thing you know, they take us straight to final casting. We don't have to do anything else. They loved us. They loved our personalities. We flew out to LA and they put you up in this hotel and it's like jail, but fun jail, because you can't leave your room other than for their purposes, like interviewing people, talking to execs. You get 1 hour of gym time, 1 hour of full time. Rest of the hours you are in your room. They give you 3 meals a day, all the snacks you can eat, but it's definitely if you're used to freedom, but as an adult you don't get any of that anymore. So it's definitely crazy.
Why? Oh, why not?
Because they're trying to keep you away from the other people that they're casting, so you can't talk. Because mind you, we can't talk to the other people that we see, that we know that are going through casting. We're not allowed to speak to them, nothing. So it's just a weird situation. And then of course they loved us because we're a ball of damn fun. And
yeah.
They chose us.
See, my question is this right here. Now, if you can tell this, tell it. If you can't, whatever. Did y'all actually shoot it before and then it was aired later, or was we watching it as y'all was going through it? So are y'all bound under some type of contract that says you can't tell what actually happens because it's aired? You know what I'm saying? So you can't go home and.
No, I can. Well, no. So that showed in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
We filmed that in 2018.
Oh, damn.
A 2-year layoff. So some of my family knew about it because I had to let them know for emergency purposes, because I disappeared for 32 days straight.
Yeah.
Like no one knew where I was. Social media went dead, everything. So some people knew where I was or what I was doing. They didn't know where we were because they also do that for, secrecy purposes.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, but I like, when I came home, I talked to my husband about it, and that was it. Oh, and my aunt, because they have to sign an NDA also. Like,
Yeah.
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 So I really couldn't talk about it for 2 years straight. It was really hard. I like to talk.
I know. That's why I was like, man, your boy didn't even know nothing till it was time. I was like, what the hell? I felt a little disrespected, to be honest with you. And think about it, I was like, I said, well, maybe she can't say nothing because they bound to, I figured that's what it was. Because I was like, man, she ain't even tell me she was doing this shit. But then I can see why, because I'd have blasted. I'm like, oh, man, y'all know what, man. My dog finna be on the TV, man.
We couldn't talk about it. Like, people at USA Track and Field knew about it because they were part of, like, my background check. Because, I mean, they do an extensive background check. I mean, gloves, like, elbow deep. They know everything about you in life. So USATF knew about it. But then they all had to sign NDAs as well. That was
fun. Okay, so check this out. Before we get into the track and field stuff, this is what I want. This is what I want to actually. It's a lot of stuff I want to talk to you about. But this new thing that you got going on at Saucony, this new role at Saucony.
Whoa. I know Black folks like to call it Saucony, but it's Saucony.
Man, look, I'm tired of you and tired now, got doggone it. I know what it's called, all right? Now, I'm prepared to, like I tell everybody else, come on, RaesTake now. But y'all come on my show, trying to fix the way that I be talking and stuff. I know I can't talk. I'm from Alabama, okay? I know what it's called. I just can't say it because I can't say it the right way. But go ahead with Saucony, Saucony, New Rock. And I even know about the Saucony River and that run on the side of the shoe. See there?
So, yes, please get it right for the viewers. You have a lot of influence, Hey. What about it? Tell me what you want to know.
I want to know. I want to know what they want to know. What the hell you do? Like, I mean, from what you told me, like it's like you do something major. Like you the first Black woman. Tell me, man. Tell me, telling them. Let me know what it is.
I'm the global manager of sports marketing here at Saucony. So basically, if anybody knows anything about track, I am like their John Capriati of Saucony. I sign the athletes, I manage the athletes, I cut the athletes, I do all of that with the athletes. So I get to travel, pick people. It's the price of business. It is. It's sad, but I mean,
you got to put that part in there though. You could have just been like, I'm y'all's savior.
No,
but also I'm the person that can make sure your kids can't eat if you run bad, Kelly.
No,
you that person now. That's what you just said. You just told me on RaesTake National TV, Live TV, YouTube TV that you the person that signed the money and take the money. Because you can't not give the money. Because you said you dropped some real names now. You dropped Doug Capriati. I know who it is because he gave and took a lot from me. I know that's what it is. So you dropping some names. So if you that person, you the person that's going to give the money and take the money. So, okay, well, first of all, congratulations, because in my entire time of track and field that I've been running, I've never known a female to ever have that type of position. That's just, and then, Black female at that. It's pretty dope. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that's actually something to be applauded for. And then the fact that they picked you so young, and then they picked you like as an actual athlete. So let me ask you this then. So what is your direction then, since you got this amazing damn role? What's your direction?
So right now, Saucony is a very distance heavy program. So that excites me because as I talk to agents, I surprise them with my vast knowledge of distance running. They think all I may know is either sprints or hurdles. But no, I'm very, very well versed in distance running. So right now I'm ironing out our program, helping our athletes understand my vision, but I'm also in the market to, sign athletes. And I want unicorns of the sport. I want people that are great on the track. They're great runners, but also champion causes as well. Because I feel like our duty as athletes is to make the world better. And sometimes by making the world better, it makes other people uncomfortable. So that shut up and dribble, shut up and run, those days are well past, well behind us. So I want athletes that are ready to handle business on track, someone that I can grow with, learn with, help them mature in their career on the track, off the track. So I'm doing a lot of cleanup work now because, Saucony's kind of been like a myth to people for a number of years, and just kind of getting it back on track.
So let me ask you this then, because again, as a wise man once said, great power comes great responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel like you're gonna be able to compete with the John Capriati's though? Because what you're basically saying is, I'm fighting for athletes the same way that Nike is fighting for athletes, the same way that Adidas is fighting for athletes. If it's the next hot, 100-meter runner, 200, distance person, whatever, you've just put yourself in that room with the rest of what I would call, because I'm a businessman, you just put your room as a lioness in a den with nothing but lions. How do you think you're going to be able to convince athletes to come to Saucony versus a Nike or versus an Adidas? Because from what I'm understanding, that's your role. It's like, hey, no, I'm gonna sign you, and you should come and put our clothing on or running our stuff. How do you think you can handle going up against those big wigs? Because when you think about it, you're right. Saucony is nowhere really in track. I haven't really heard of Saucony since Wallace was with Saucony.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Lauren.
Oh, and Lauren. So how do you think you're gonna be able to face those guys?
Yeah. I don't want to compete with them, and I don't think that we should. I feel like I'll let them duke it out, and because I want to be in my own lane. I don't want to have to compete for an athlete. I know it's going to happen, but I want the athlete that wants to run for Saucony to run for Saucony, because we're a small and niche enough company that I can just do different things than other companies can. So I tell people all the time, I don't want to compete with Nike. We can't. Like, they are a giant, and you got to take your hats off to a giant they are a well-oiled machine, and they've been doing this for so long. This is the first time in a very, very, very long time that we've had someone dedicated to just sports marketing at Saucony. So I know that I have like a long road ahead, but it's going to be such a long and beautiful road. And I'm excited to step into a room of lions, and I'm a lioness, because the lioness takes care of the pack. So like nothing goes until the lioness says, and I'm fine with that role. I feel like post-career up until now, I kind of stepped into that role already with, stepping out of just the athlete role and really latching on to my agent/former agent and being in the room when business is conducted, to understand how things work behind the scenes, because it's definitely different than what people think.
Yeah. So how did you make that transition? And the reason why I'm saying that is because, again, we'll get into the second half of the show when we have fun, talk about track. So I was there during your career, like literally, like right by your side, as I like to say with all of us. Like, we was at the track meets together, like on the buses together. So to see, you go from there to such a quick turnaround. And what I mean by such a quick turnaround is like just being out the sport, what I like to call, less than a decade, you've already climbed up a ladder, and immediately as soon as you really got done running, that's what you want to call it. I don't ever call it done, but really as soon as you made that transition, when you got that medal, you made that medal work for you in ways that was like unparalleled. It's like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, it was like, soon as you got it, it was, what I saw was like, okay, my job's done. Now my job is to take what I just got and make it work for me. How did you manage to make that transition? Now my question is it because you was preparing, having an exit strategy before track and field was over with, or did it just happen after you got the medal?
It happened before the medal. I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset, and I've always been like a mover and shaker. So like even before I had my medal, I had like 12 to 15 different sponsors already, and I've never had management for that. So I was always writing companies, looking at their site, figuring out what they needed or what they didn't have, how I could fit into a mold. So I've always just had a mindset of like, I know track is cool and I know it's good and I know it pays really good money when you're running well. But what can I do, one, to supplement things so I don't have to, one, spend money on them, or two, they'll pay me back, or three, put me in the right crowds to understand certain parts of business. So I've always thought that way of put yourself around people that are much smarter than you and way more experienced than you, and let them guide you. Because I feel like that's how mentor mentees kind of come together. It's like just a natural way path. So I've always felt that way. Even when I was like running and like, as you call it, in the back, when I was in the middle back, like I won't close it.
Back, coach. Not playing.
I was in the middle back. But no, for real, I've always just wanted to understand business. That's what my degrees are in. So I would just want to know business and understand, like, okay, so how does this track thing really work? Because what you see on NBC can't be it. Like, it cannot be it. That's the finished product. So I always just did a bunch of digging. And to be honest, I was really nice to people and easy to work with. So that made people open up doors for me. Like, oh, Kelly's cool. She's, easy to be around. So we'll teach her things.
So you would pretty much say that your success now didn't actually come from track and field. It actually came from the fact that your mindset has just been entrepreneur, period. And track and field just happened to give you, that extra key to open up a whole lot more doors for you to be able to walk through, if I'm understanding you correctly.
Absolutely. Like, I'm really smart, and I know that I'm smart, and I know that I'm real savvy at that. And then an Olympic medal or a professional athlete just complements all of that, because people want to be around athletes. But then once they get past that facade of like you being an athlete, what else do you have to offer? So I made sure that like I had lots of stuff in my arsenal to have to offer.
Well, I'll ask you this question then, based off of what you've done and based off of, I just call it what it is, off of other people who've gotten medals and stuff like that. And, I would definitely would not use the term struggling, but I would say not where they could be or should be. What do you think is the difference? Like, what are the reasons why like a lot of track athletes don't get to like the level that you're at now?
I don't know. Maybe it's preparation, or people ask me, like, when did you know you were done with track? I knew I was done. So I didn't retire. I didn't finish till like 2014. I knew when I crossed the line in 2012, I was done. I got a medal, especially from where I came from, small HBCU, didn't make the NCAA final my senior year, was never an outdoor All-American.
Talk your shit.
And then came to like the third best in the world. And so I have the fastest start for any Olympics, male or female, to date.
Yeah, these are facts. These are facts.
Like no
one wanted that shit. You wanted it.
Because we'll talk about that later. But yes, so once I crossed the line in 2012, I remember feeling the feeling of like elation, but like, thank God it's over. I ran a couple more years because who leaves money on the table? But I just I think that me exiting just wasn't a difficult battle. Like it was fine. So I think that maybe knowing when enough is enough, it could be like part of the issue, because it's hard, because we ran track since we were little, and finding an identity outside of that is really, really difficult. Finding the joy of what we feel when the lights go off, because there's nothing like lining up, running and winning, or crossing the line, like hearing the crowd. There's nothing that can match it. Like that feeling that you get, like when those chills are over you and you're in the call room and your heart is racing outside your chest. There's not a lot that will give you that after you're done. So oftentimes people are chasing that feeling and nothing will give it to them. So you just got to settle in knowing that nothing is going to give me that. What's the next best thing?
It's funny that you said that. It's funny that you said that, because it's exactly it's a high. and it's a hard to it. It's almost like you gotta, step away from it. Like it's a drug. Like that's literally what it is, and that's why it takes so many people out, and also why so many people can gain some off of it when they, But let's go ahead and do this then, because now you got my blood going, because I feel like the back of the track meet. You know what I'm saying? Now we all know the one thing that when Davis Ray Edwards, the one stage that in track and field, for some odd, unapparent reason, God wanted me to be Moses. The one stage I've never touched, literally, is the Olympic field. Even when I made the Olympic team, I didn't touch it. All right? It's another story. Everybody knows that story, okay? I've touched every other surface. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be at a world championship. I know what it feels like to line up at Olympic, not Olympics, the Pan American Games, NAGAC Games, indoor, you name it. I know what it feels like. Tell me what that felt like lining up for that final though of the Olympic Games before you got that medal. Like, what would take me through that race? You already know. I need from the shakeout. From the shakeout all the way to the line, Jack. I need it. Take us through it. I got the year.
Nah, the final wasn't the issue. Let me tell you where the damn issue came into.
Oh, it's always come on, tell it.
No, it wasn't. It was the first round because we ran right after the 100-meter runners, right? The men. So you know how dramatic y'all dudes be. They came off talking about, man, that's the fastest surface I ever touched. Oh my God. So mind you, we hadn't done anything on the actual surface. We were on the warm-up track, and the warm-up track was blazing. Like, I remember running up on hurdles, like, ooh, I had to adjust my blocks, everything. So it was crazy. So they come off talking all cash money joint. Oh, it's so great. So my one thought in my mind was like, Kelly, you cannot go out in the first round. Like, you can't hit a hurdle, because I was like, what if I hit a hurdle? What if you fall? You're like, because I knew someone was going down. And the one thing that I possessed as a sprinter was I was fast as hell. I had that was
you didn't have turnover now.
Like, I could sprint. It was crazy. So I was like, all right. So I remember feeling like right before you walk out, they keep you in that little tunnel. And, I got my stuff on, and I literally was like, I'm about to throw up. Like, I'm literally going to throw up. Like, I have never been this nervous. I'm going to throw up. And then our first round was at 8 a.m. in the morning. So, your body's already like to pieces. You're like, it's 8 o'clock. What is happening? So I ran that round, went fine. But I remember, what's the Jamaican girl? She won world. She got 3 names. They all got 3 names.
That new.
Shout out to my Jamaicans. I love them. I'll think of her name. She crashed out in the first round because she was also really fast. Like, she had a lot of foot speed. So like, that's where my fear came from. But the final was the most fun I ever had running, because I knew I was ready. I knew it. I knew it. I knew I was like, all right, because 2 weeks before that, I had just beat Sally in England. So I was like, okay, it's doable. She's beatable. Everybody's beatable. And these are the people that I race all the time. There was no new player in the field. So I stopped looking at it like an Olympic final and looked at it just like a regular.
Bridget Foster. Somebody said Bridget Foster.
Yes,
that's
great.
They crashed. Yeah. Shout out to my Jamaican followers.
Yeah. I treated it just like any other race. I didn't think of it. I didn't make the moment bigger than what it was, because I messed around and did that at World Championships the year before. Made the moment too big. And I just remember standing there, and I looked over at my homie. I looked over at Dawn, and we made eye contact. And there was that feeling of like, all right, let's just do work. And I just remember, I'm going to get out as hard as I can, and they're going to have to come get me to win this race. Like, I'm going to do something unthinkable. You're going to have to come get me. And that's what I did. I just remember it was so fun, and I wanted to set a pace that was unmatchable. And I think like my time that year would have won gold, and like the previous 3 Olympics, the next Olympics.
Y'all was a fast ass race that year. Like, y'all was moving.
12-3 and 12-4. 12-4. So I just remember like, I'm gonna set a pace that I hope is unmatchable and just go. And if I go down, I'm going down in front, and we just going like just get to the line. And it was just so much fun. And I remember like it started raining. They were playing like a background like doom doom. Doom, doom. I was like, can this get any more dramatic? Like, what? Come on now. Like, y'all doing too much. We had to wait for Ronnie to get his medal. Like, it was just so much. But, it was just the most fun that I had running. And I made sure to like live every minute of it, because I think about so many people that I do know, that we all know, that you only get one shot at it sometimes. And I wanted that one shot count like it was going to be heard around the world. So, and I wanted to prove to myself too, because I knew that I belonged. And, there was so much media stuff swirling around that Olympics and this person and that person that
you definitely wasn't counted in it. You was counted, in the race, but put it this way, to the world, and even the track and field, you wasn't counted to get a medal. You was counted to be about 4th or 5th. You weren't counted to get a medal.
Yep.
Now, I remember that hurdle race very distinctly. When the gun went off, I said, they going to have to go catch her. And if they have to go catch her, she going to hold on to get that damn 3rd. She might. Hold on. Oh, okay, there they go.
Yeah, I was like,
Then for a split second, I was like, oh, she fit. Oh, okay, now they got her.
If it was indoor, I would have got gold. But it's outdoor.
I was about to say, now if you were indoors, you'd have had your gold medal. Because everybody people like, ooh, is she going to? Okay, now there they go. But hold on, though. But they go to normal. But hold on, don't you move. All right, good. That's all you need. Because that right there is gold to you. Right? For you, that's gold medal. I try and tell people.
I tell people that all the time. People like,
folks don't understand. Sometimes that 3rd place medal is a gold medal to certain people. It feels like a gold medal. It feels like come on.
It's come on. I look at it every day as a tangible reminder that, like, no matter, like, you can do anything that you put your mind to. It sounds so cliche, but literally, by my first year professional, I hadn't cracked 13 seconds. By the time I, moved to Dennis, my PR was 12:93. I sacrificed everything in my entire life. I worked 2 jobs and trained full time. I moved to Florida with $473 in my pocket. I had a little Saturn with a busted out window. I rented a room from somebody just so I could live and train. And I went from 1293 to 1258 in one season, to showing what dedication really does. Like, and I mean, I ate, slept, breathed track and field. If I wasn't working, I was working on my craft in some sort of way. I didn't go home to visit. I skipped Christmas, birthdays, baby showers, weddings, all of that shit, because I was like, I want this so bad. And people kept telling me, Kelly, you got a degree, you got a master's degree, go get a job, go do whatever. And I was like, nope, I'm gonna give myself a time limit to show me if I can do this. And if not, I'm smart, I can go get a job somewhere. But luckily, shit worked out.
Man, hey, look, you said what? Now, sadly, in our sport, sometimes it's either one or two ways you're gonna get to that top level. One is either they're gonna give it to you fresh out of college, or in order for you to get there, you pretty much damn near gotta do exactly what you just said. Like, I had to pack up all my shit and live out my car, and then all I had to think about was track and field, because track and field is just that damn, like, it's that selfish. And it's like I broke down, to some of my athletes. I'm like, what people don't understand is you're trying to become a wrinkle in time. You're trying to become a fraction in time, a fraction in history. Because on the planet right now, you got to look at the world's population. Then you got to say, in just my country, are the entire world's population, not only that, are the entire population of everybody that was born the year I was born, only 32 of us can be fast enough to get to this spot. And now those 32 human beings that was all born on the same year I was born on and try and run, only 3 of those human beings can make the team. And then out of those goddamn 3, only one of them, it's a fraction in history that people don't be understanding. So in order for you to actually accomplish that, you got to give up everything in the world, because you're literally trying to become, again, so like going forward until the world is over with, that thing that's behind you, you're in history now. Like, your name is imprinted in history. Like in the history of mankind, Kelly Wells Brinkley put a fraction in it. You know what I'm saying? So when you trying to do that, that sacrifice is sometimes what it takes if you're not, gifted enough to where, let's just face it, out of college, you didn't get no $500,000 contract. So therefore, since you didn't get no $500,000 contract, you can't go spend the money that is easier to get, stuff done to your body when you have it. So when you don't have that stuff, it's all mental now. Your mentality has to fix your body. Why? I can't go afford to get it. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, I have to be so mentally in tune to where my body got to go perform better than people who actually get this shit done.
Can get it done. Like for the longest time, I didn't know what hurt was because I ain't have time for it.
I ain't got time for it. I ain't got time for that.
That shit's regular. Like, I got to keep going because if I miss a day of practice, that is the day that somebody who's already better than me is putting in work. So I don't have time for that. Nope. Rub it, roll it, tape it, move along.
Yeah. So, so I got to ask all my questions I like to talk about. All right, because you definitely started out on the Chitlin circuit. Without a doubt, 100%. Chitlin circuit. Tell me about your experiences on the Chitlin circuit.
I had a decent mix of races. So my first year out of college, I had, what was his name? Charlie Wells.
Charlie Wells.
Yeah, Uncle Charlie was my agent. So he ends up, so then Charlie, got into, his own way. We'll put that. He went on vacation.
Long vacation.
Long vacation. And then Kevin Brown stepped in. So then Kevin sent me over to Europe with this European agent who handled like smaller athletes. So then I was like rented out to another agent. It was very, very strange.
I remember these days.
His name was Andre Thompson, I believe. So I was running like all these small meets. The cool thing about the small meets was they paid in cash and they paid right then and there. So even if you go over there broke, you at least have enough money to like function because they're euros.
I gotta cut you off real fast.
Why?
Tell me why. Every time somebody come on here, we get to talk about the Chitlin circuit. They say the exact same thing. Yes. But you were talking about the Chitlin circuit, you got paid in cash.
That's it. So at least you could function because I know, like, all right, bet I can go to McDonald's and eat, or I can, pay for my little hotel room or do whatever. Like, I got enough money to like function. So that's the best part. And then I remember one day I was in my hotel room because that's where we kind of based out of meets, and I called Garfield Ellenwood.
G, that's my boy G.
Because, and so I call him Boogie because so Coach P and Garfield are, real good friends. And so Coach P was my coach, and I called Garfield and I'm like, Boogie, I can't take this anymore. I can't take what I'm doing. I don't know what's happening. I've been rented out to some agent that I don't know. Like, this doesn't feel safe. I don't know. So then he was like, all right, bet, call my dude, Robert Wagner. And I was like, who?
Robert.
Like, I'm like, who? So I email him immediately. So then he calls my hotel room directly. Like, and the next thing I know, he's like, ma'am, okay, great. Pack your bags. You have a ticket to go here. I've got you this race, this race, this race, and this race. Just like that. Mind you, my PR was 13 seconds, maybe 12:93 at the time. So I was like, okay, is this abduction? Like, what? And then all of a sudden there was a plane ticket. I flew to one of the Italian meets, I believe it was at that point. Italy circuit. Everybody loved the Italy circuit.
Love the Italian circuit, boy.
And so Garfield was there and Robert was there. So I met him and we sat down and talked, and he was like, okay, so you need an agent. Great. I can help you. And I was like, is that how this works? And then, from then on, Robert took such good care of me. I was in Golden Leagues when I shouldn't have been in Golden Leagues. I was in Lane 1 or Lane 8, but I was still there. And I think that is what changed my mindset and the trajectory of my career, because I was never afraid. I was never afraid anyway to line up. I didn't care about that. But like, it gave me the feeling of like, okay, so now I'm running, 13.0 or 12.9. They're running 12.5. That's what that pace looks like to you.
Yeah.
So Kelly, how you going to close that gap? Like, what can you do to close that gap? And so then at these meets, Dennis was also there. So I met Dennis in college. He was when we were at Wide World of Sports. That's where our championship
in Disney World.
At Disney, yeah. And so he was the announcer at the meet. And I remember I fell my senior year in the hurdles, and he walked over to me and picked me up off the track. Mind you, I don't know this man from a hole in the wall. And he looked at me and he was like, hey, if you want to be good at track, move and be with me. He's like, I promise you, I'll make you one of the best hurdlers in the world. And I never had nobody say nothing like that to me ever in life. And so then Dennis started being at the same meets. And so then me and Damu started like training together, warm up together. And we realized we had such good chemistry. So then I was in the same races as her. And so then that's how I kind of like assimilated to that mindset, because I saw what I was doing at Hampton. You know, I love Maurice Pierce. I owe him so much, but he wasn't able to give me that next level of what being serious really meant in the hurdle. So that's how my mindset. So yes, the Chitlin circuit definitely gave me my start. And then once I went to the Diamond League or the Golden Leagues, I still did Chitlin circuits and Golden League because I need all that.
Hold on now, because you speaking your age, because you saying Golden League, and you know some of you folks might not understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like Golden League before Diamond League. You know what I'm saying? That's a different thing. People, that's what she's saying. Like Golden League was good, Diamond League
was.
But anyway, hey, you know what though? I'm gonna say this. I only had 2 agents my entire career. Like I'm 2 agents. And my first agent was most everybody's agent, TC. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Tony Campbell. Love that dude. Hey, so I was with TC. Now I can have me with TC the first, because they gave my first contract, you know, in 2003 to 2005. So they was like, you know, we want you with Tony Campbell, you know, the first 2 years, whatever. He's like a good startup agent, cool. So in 2005, they put me with New Bandy. So, you know, I was with New Bandy my entire career after that. And New Bandy and Robert Wagner, them boys. So Robert, man, when I sit here and tell you that dude there, you couldn't have told me Robert Wagner wasn't my agent. All right. If I was being a track meet and John wasn't there, Robert had all my information. Literally. You're like, Ray, okay, John told me to tell you, here's your flight, here's your hotel room, do anything, come find me, let me know. I got your lane assignments. How you like your lane, Ray? You don't like it? Let me see if I can talk to him. Like Robert was so dope. And then the thing I liked about Robert, 2 things I liked about Robert. Robert Wagner paid Ray, it was good sometimes, you know, because Robert Wagner don't have a little, you know, he had a track piece, you know what I'm saying? And Robert Wagner looked out for you. Boy, I ain't gonna lie now. If you see me at a Robert Wagner track meet, Jack, you saw me smiling. Yep. Robert done looked out for me. But the realest thing Robert ever did, I got 2012, after I tore my ankle. And then I was in Europe still trying to compete, you know what I'm saying? Like still trying to run. And so I had the meets lined up because we was in, I went to like Thessaloniki. I was in that track meet, tried to run, had to pull out. But then I went to like Rome and then had to pull out. And then we was in Barcelona. And then I remember like, I kept getting it worked on and shit. And then we was getting ready to eat. And then Robert was, you know, in the line behind me. He was like, Ray, how your foot feel? And I was like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Like cafeteria?
Huh?
He ate in the cafeteria?
Not the cafeteria, downstairs. Like the restaurant. Yeah, the restaurant. Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah. So we was in, well, he was getting a snack. Let me say it right. He was getting a snack because he was at the hotel. So then he was sitting there, he was like, Ray, you need to go home. You see what he told me? He's like, you need to go home. I said, Rob, you know I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know I can't. I gotta get this money. You know what I'm saying? He's like, Ray, it ain't gonna do you no good to keep sitting over here. He's like, look at you limping now. Like, what good is it doing you to keep running? Like, you need to go home. And I was like, man, I got like 3 more races lined up. He was like, Ray, go home, literally. And then I was like, you know what? You're right. Because he was the only person who really told me that. Like, John was like, Ray, how you feel? You know, my age, like, you gonna run? Yeah, I'm gonna run. He won't let me make that decision. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else gonna be like, hey man, shoot, if you wanna run, you wanna run. No, Robert Wagner straight up like, bro, you can't run. What is you doing here? Take your ass home. Like, in so many words, he don't talk like that, but that's what he was saying. Like, and I respected Robert for that because he kept it real. He was like, bro, if you keep doing this, you're just gonna make it worse. And a lot of coaches or agents, they really won't go there. They'll try and tape you up, push you like, okay, well, just try and make it through it anyway. And then here this dude don't make a single dollar off of me or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But just giving me advice like, hey, bro, like, you don't want to do that. Just go home. And then after that, I told John, like, John, put me on the plane, I'm going home. And like, for real, like, just because Robert was like, because I respected Robert that much. Like, that's probably one of the realest people, man. I know Robert pulled up in the first R8 in Monaco. He's like, Ray, you want to go for a ride? You think you're right? Let's get in, baby. Come on, Robert said, I'm next. I'm gonna go get in here, man.
You know,
Hey, no, boy.
You know, people have, their perceptions of Wagner, right? Like he's always in a suit. He got it buttoned down so his little chest may be hanging out. Like, but when I tell you it, like, he is the most dependable person I know.
Man, listen.
If I got kidnapped outside of like my husband, Robert Wagner is my first call because I know if I ask him for something, if I need something, it shows up. It is just done. He did so much for my career. He did so much for me post-career. Hell, I talk to Robert at least 4 times a week now because we are that close, and TC too, because I feel like if you love Robert, you have to love TC because they're all
they come hand in hand. All 3 of them, Robert, TC, John. Like if you on the track, if you can't love them 3, something wrong with you.
No, in 2019, right before pandemic time, when Jamaica's track meet was going on, I flew down because I was working with Robert at Red Bull, and I had dinner with Nubani, TC, and Robert, and just cried laughing the whole time because they're just hilarious. But I owe so much to Robert Wagner because he took chances on me when he did not have to. He did me solids, paid for things, overpaid me, didn't charge me for things. I've seen him do that for all of his athletes. So that's just someone that like I'll always love and just be indebted to for sure. He changed my life. Well,
let me ask you this. So I probably shouldn't ask you this. So does that mean that you and him, you preferably pushing people to go with him over other agents?
Fair question. No, I feel like I just had a conversation with someone the other day about agents. And I told them because I don't think that every agent is for everyone.
Okay. That's dope.
Like your agent and your coach have to be like that good fitting glove. For one, they have to work together very well. So if your coach don't like your agent, your career is already going to be messed up. But I tell people all the time, I tell especially these young kids, the questions to ask. And then you can decide from there. I'll give them a couple like, oh, I like this person. Oh, I really like this person. Hey, this person, you might want to do a little more research and ask around. I tell people like ask their former athletes, ask people that have retired, ask people that are with them, ask people that have left them. You got to do your research because your agent can literally make or break your career. So, I don't push people to him at all because I also know he's not for everybody. Like somebody else may have taken that comment that you said, like go home and been offended by it. Because he also don't pull no punches. Like he will tell you about yourself very quickly and you got to be ready to receive it. Because at the end of the day, he got your best interest at heart. So somebody that's a little bit more softer or fragile, I would be like, okay, maybe Robert is not the one. Maybe you have to wait a couple more years in your career because he'll give it to you real straight.
Hold on. You won't know what his workout is.
Tuesday.
You did day 2 on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh, we flipped it. So it's day 1. Yeah.
What you got? You got a bed?
What that? He got what's his name? Do you know the workout? Marcus got legs. Yeah, Marcus got legs. Devin, give me 2 seconds. I'll be in there. She sleep. Yeah, you got your leg workout. All right, so I'm back now. I'm live in the gym. You already know it. Y'all know I do this thing live. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Odin them they ain't about the workout stuff like that. So this is what I'm saying based off that. When it comes to picking an agent, I believe that it needs to be somebody that is not actually just wanting to represent you because you have talent. Somebody like, no, I want to be your friend, which is like you're saying about, Robert, and the same thing with John. Like John picked me up in 2005. After my career, John Nubani, I would definitely say is the reason why my career, post-career, took off. Because he not only, when I first, and he kept his word. When I talked to him in 2005, he was like, Ray, not only am I going to represent you in track and field. I'm gonna make sure that I help you do things that will help you off the track. You know, I'm gonna guide you, give you good information, good advice, bad advice. You know what I'm saying? The whole works. Even after I was done, same thing. I still talk to John. My LLCs, like my off the track stuff, John set that shit up for me first. Even when I created my app, Go Cairo, all that, New Bandit. This ain't got nothing to do with running. Zero, zilch, nada. But I'm on the phone with John, like, hey John, I just did this. Can you look these contracts over for me? Oh, you already sent them to me. You know what I'm saying? And then John's telling me, okay, well, Ray, yeah, that's a good deal, bad deal. Or matter of fact, I have a cousin. I'm gonna put you in contact with my cousin over here so that you can talk to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that to me is like, that's an agent. That's what trumps any agent, because I know other athletes in the sport who I know personally and that we know personally, to where when they got done, they agent was kind of like, I'll send you a Christmas card. You know what I'm saying?
And
like
that's on the good end.
You know, and that's if you get that. If you get that. So man, shout out to the real agents, man. Y'all know who y'all are. And the ones that ain't real agents, y'all need to fix yourselves. You know who you are too. It's a bunch of y'all out there. Y'all know we know who y'all are, both of us, because we've been around forever. We know who y'all are. Hey, Kelly, all right, before we get off this thing I like to do, you gotta give me your worst track and field experience. You gave me your best. Give me your worst.
I got a lot of bad ones. What you mean?
Give me the worst one there. I know you got a lot of it. It shouldn't be too many to pick from.
I mean, what do you mean worst? Like give me an example.
Worst experience in track and field ever.
You know,
y'all gonna start coming on my show and not having these worst experiences to match up with my Rio 2016 Nigerian experience. Because I'll be quick with my worst experience.
No, I don't.
Nobody.
No, that's bad though. I mean, like, I don't know if anybody has one that's that bad.
Not topping that one.
Like no one. Like, you were supposed to go to the Olympics.
Yeah, they forgot to put me. They forgot to give me a lane. They forgot.
Right. Worst track and field experience. I don't know. I mean, I had a lot of shitty stuff happen where, like, just being at meets and being like extra hungry and no food. I will say Robert Wagner never let me get stranded at a airport or, you know, not having anything. So like, I don't have that. Oh, you know what? After I got injured, I had hip surgery. I tore my labrum and I had to have it like microfractured, came back. I went to like this coaching system because at that point, like, me and Dennis had split. Nothing bad. It was just time. And I went to this coaching system. It just wasn't that great. And then I guess it's hard when you watch people get their money stolen from them to like not get good coaching. I think that really disturbed my soul, because by that point I was like, I made money. You know, I was married to somebody who, you know, had money. So money was really like a thing for me. But like watching other people like be who I was some years ago, like, damn, like you're living on somebody's couch, or damn, you ain't got, you know, this or that. Watching people be stolen from was really difficult. I mean, I feel like track is shitty in general. Like, if you like the
best of it. You literally got to make the best of it.
For the amount of money that we, you know, pour into the sport and the amount of money you make, you know, it doesn't equate. You remember that time we were in indoor? It was you, me, Angie Williams, Mike Rogers,
Birmingham, England.
And it was Mark Jelks, and we wanted to
Birmingham, I'm telling you, Birmingham, England. Birmingham, England. I ain't know the story. I gotta let you go. Birmingham, England. It was in Birmingham, England.
Where we wanted to go watch the Super Bowl. And we know it wasn't.
No, we found it. We went to watch the Super Bowl.
Yes.
At a hotel, remember?
And then the cab driver tried to like put us out the taxi. Like, it would like, but stuff like that is so memorable. Like,
so it's like the worst experiences, but the worst experiences when you think about it actually are the best experiences, because it was like, so you know, we almost got kicked out of the club that night.
Yes, because people was fighting and like all of this stuff. But I feel like that is why no matter how long I can go without talking to like you or other people that were in like our core circle, we will always have that genuine love and respect for each other because of what we went through and how it bonded us. It's almost like a trauma bond. Like, like, man, remember that track meet that never paid us? Or you remember like those kind of things, I feel like, those are just, yeah, I don't have a Rio 2016 story.
Okay, well, good. Well, since we still talking about Olympics, we got a little more time. I want to get your take on Tokyo. Like, I mean, I know we've talked about it. We've talked about everything, but based off, because I don't personally know the new generation, like, because I'm not around it. I just know bits and pieces of everybody in it. You know what I'm saying? But based on what I've known from talking to the new generation versus like you just said about us, we was pretty much a family. Like if you were there, it was like you had our little circles, but it was groups of us. Like it was 10, 15, you know what I'm saying? And their little circle was 10, 15. It seemed like now the athletes are more like 2x2 or 3x3. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that may have something to do with the fact that why the team wasn't as strong as it should? Because to me, that's how I looked at it. I said, anytime you see a bunch of people that's equally talented, because I look at it across the board, football, basketball, whatever. If you're equally talented and y'all can't get the job done, that means there's no family there. So do you feel like that's what's going on now to where even on the men and the female side to where they don't look at each other like a family? So like you just said, I was able to look over at Don and be like, oh, it's going to go down. I've talked about races to where I've been able to look over at Tyson and look at Mike like, oh, it's going to go down. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's that. I'm nervous, but my brother right there, or like my sister right there. So we gonna do this shit together because we got to represent. Ain't no, it's us. Whether we Nike, Adidas, it's America, Jack. Like, no matter what. Do you feel like a little bit of that has been lost to where now we are in the state that we in right now?
I feel like it's a mixture of a couple things, right? So one, we grew up in an era in track where internet won't free and internet won't in your room at all. So you had to go sit in the lobby to get internet to get on Skype. We was on Skype at that point. Like there weren't no FaceTime. So I feel like one, that just brought us together more. And then there would be pockets of people sitting where the internet's stronger or people playing cards, stuff like that. I think about in places like Monaco. We would sit in the lobby of a...
Hold on one second. Oh, they ain't back to me? Go ahead.
We would sit in the lobby of a 6-star hotel playing spades and stuff, turning that joint out because, it was us over everybody. So I feel like that's a little bit missing right now. I feel like the gap of them, not having that.
My bad. My bad.
Who child is that?
Odine.
But yes, and I feel like the gap of COVID, not necessarily the fitness of it, but leaders are created by fire, right? You see the cream rises to the top. So a lot of this, they haven't had to do that. I just feel like the road has been a little bit different and maybe a little bit easier in certain ways. But I feel like maybe since Olympic year, we're going into this world championship cycle. Maybe we'll start to see a turn of it also because the team was young. And
like, very young.
There's no feeling like stepping on a stage that you've never been into and getting like the Bambi legs and not knowing that like this is going to happen. This is how you fight through that feeling. I remember my first world championships having Bambi legs and being like, what is this? Why can't I breathe? Why is my brain all over the place? So dealing with the anxiety of a lot of things. There was COVID, there was complications. I think that we saw glimpses of some very beautiful performances that will come.
Yeah.
What I want from our generation is if you're involved with the sport, you have a hand in the sport, you're a coach in the sport, really stepping up and being that force for them. I think about when we were around and seeing the coaches, they were not our friends. They were our leaders. Sometimes like attitude, performance, reflects leadership. So maybe it's for the older people that are, on the support staff around to step up and be that leaders for this younger generation, because like them or not, that is what we have. Ain't no Superman coming from no planet to save us. It ain't no new characters. Like that's our team. So we, and even if they want to rely on us, I reach out to the younger kids all the time, especially hurdlers, to impart my knowledge on them to help. because I want them to be better than us. I want them to be the big dogs. I don't want other countries to look at them being like, oh, that's America. Nah, so I feel like maybe it's for us to grab them up and be like, nah, we about to do this. Like, because I think back to when I made the team, there was Gail Devers, there was JJK to give us talks. Like, bitch, if you dare, please don't embarrass us out here. Don't embarrass us. So, maybe it's just the turning of the tide, and we have to do a better job of being leaders for them too.
So basically, you feel like, because I kind of feel like that, like what we had was a good changeover.
We didn't have, like, this new generation didn't have it.
They didn't have that changeover because, like you said, like when I was coming in, I had Bernard Williams and John Capel and Maurice Green and Brian Lewis to pretty much guide me the next 3-4 years. It's like, hey, this is how we do it here. You know what I'm saying? How we do it is, first of all, we don't lose. All right, that's first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Like, get that through your head. All right. Second of all, when we go out, them is our sisters. We make sure they protected. You know what I'm saying? Third of all, what goes on over here stays over here. We get our job done no matter what. I feel like just watching from afar that there wasn't a changeover from like veterans to like, okay, well, look, we're about to be out of here now, so here's how you're supposed to act. I think and because when you think about the generations, it just switched over so quick. Because like when you think about people, it's like all of a sudden like Tyson was running and he wasn't running. Even people like Robert Williams and Mark, it was like they was running then they wasn't running. And then it was like a whole class just stopped. And then now it's like,
and then it was COVID. Then COVID, like, because people, just disappeared from COVID. Like, well, can't do it. It's years gone. Shoe companies reduced their inventory of athletes by 60%, some of them. So then some of those people just went off into the darkness because they had that hurt of like not being able to finish how they wanted to finish. So that's something they're going to have to deal with within themselves, because no one saw a global pandemic coming. But there was no changeover. And then there's people that are still running, that are thinking about stopping, but don't necessarily like mentor because they're still trying to get it how they live. So, maybe it is, up to people like me and yous to step up and be like, okay, I'm not, because I don't want to coach, but what can we do?
I'm a trainer. I'm a trainer.
Yes. What can I do to strengthen this team? Is it like, what can we do? They got the skills. They are talented individuals. I've watched them all run. So it's not lack of talent. So what can we do to bring this shit back to where it needs to be? Because like you said,
I can tell you, we would almost have to go to their practices and to their camps, because again, it's a disconnect from the veteran to the new athlete. Because the same thing, like you say, when you were down there with Damu, you was there and it's like, okay, she brought you up. But again, when everybody is on the same age, the same group, who's the real leader? And then that's what I keep saying. Like, I even said that on the show this summertime. I was like, I don't see no leaders. I don't see nobody that anybody's quote unquote afraid of at the camp. And I don't mean afraid of like bow down to, but it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, like that's John Capel. You know what I'm saying? So when I go to practice, I'm listening and hanging on to every word that he speaks, because it's like, that's John Capel. I watched him on TV just like 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
That's how
I think so. To answer your question, we would, because a lot of them missed that. And I feel like track and field left such a sour taste in a lot of our mouths to where we don't want to go back and help nobody. Because it's like, nah, I don't want to see that thing no more, man. And you know how much money you know what I'm saying? But it can't be about that. Like she say, like, it can't be about that. We got to go back and do that just for this. And that's why we got RaesTake. For real, that's why we have this thing, so that we can start to do that and continue to get more of us on here to talk, because they watch and they listen. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I will respect about it, is that the athletes that are, I guess the new generation, I just feel like we actually the old heads, huh? But anyway, they actually do listen. So and I respect. That's why we wanted y'all to come on and talk, because they will listen to you because they have to. Because what else they got to do? They bored as hell. Track and field is boring. You got to watch RaesTake. You have no excitement.
I hope they do listen, because I think that stuff like this is necessary. And like, because I had Damu. If Damu said
Mhm.
eat a Cheeto, walk backwards, and do a cartwheel, that's what
I'm
I
gonna do that shit.
She ran 12.4. And if that's what got you to 12.4, and if that's what got you on teams and stuff, whatever, that's what I'm doing. Like, great. And
Yep.
she set the tone at practice. She taught me how to warm up correctly.
Mhm.
Like, I felt like I was her mirror. Like, whatever she
Yeah.
did, that's what I was doing. So if that's what they're missing, like I always tell people, inbox me, reach out, text me. I'm a phone call away to vent, to talk, to,
Mhm.
structure stuff too. And I tell people, like, there's the Kelly who works at Saucony, right? Who wants to be a business mogul, who's going to turn this ship around, and we're going to be some heavy hitters. But then there's also Kelly, who was the sprinter, who can empathize with everything that you're going through and probably more. Like, my hamstring blew out on international TV, and I couldn't go to the Olympics. So that's probably my shitty story now that
I was about to say that was pretty
now
bad
that-
right there. That should have been
now
the way. We went.
now that we circle back around, like, I ran 12.5 and then was on the track and, was out of the sport for 2.5 years because I couldn't run. So I know the ups and the downs. I know the being broke as hell. At one point, all I could afford to eat was potatoes. I could only buy a bag of potatoes. I know 78 ways to cook potatoes. So
look here. I was one of the first people. I was one of the first Black people that learned how to use noodles to turn into Chinese food. Don't worry about it. I think Chinese, right? Wait, no, right? That's not ramen, man. Look, I'm gonna add the egg to it. I'm gonna add the paprika to it. I'm gonna chop it up, put these little carrots in here. Man, it's the same thing you get from them folks.
Same thing, no, swear. So, like, I tell people, and if they're listening, if y'all are listening, if anybody's parents are listening, reach out to us. We are a phone call away. Oh, I love her. We are a text away to help this, and our team is 2 pieces missing of going back to being like, oh, America's here, everybody go home.
Yeah, because we don't have that anymore. I was debating that with one of my dudes the other day. I was like, bro, we don't have that. That dominance is not really there. Like, what I mean dominance is like when I'm thinking I'm thinking from Carl all the way up to Maurice and keeping going. Like that. I mean dominance. Like the world is not watching the Olympics to see what happened. The world is watching the Olympics to see just how bad America's going to do people. Like, it ain't no, like now it's like, oh, we're watching to see the races. Like then it was like, we know America's going to sweep it. Like they're going to win everything. So let's just see how bad they beat everybody. Now they don't flip, at least on the sprint side. It's like, let's see how bad Jamaica going to beat everybody. And I love my Jamaican friends. They know that. I train them. I love it. But I can't keep accepting that. Like, come on, y'all. It's still, it's a team. It's called Team USA. And Team USA ain't dominating like Team USA supposed to dominate.
Yeah. Every couple Olympics, we do have a down Olympics. I think about, like, what was that? 2004 maybe wasn't a great games for us.
Yeah, what you mean?
Or was it 2000? I remember, like,
you talking about Beijing. Beijing wasn't that good. 08. Yeah. 08 wasn't that good. 04 was good. 04 was good. We still had
Alan fell in the hurdles. Maybe Beth fell.
08, because 04.
No, it wasn't 08. Alan was running.
Alan was 05. But so when Alan fell, he hadn't fell in 04, but 04 wasn't a bad one because that's when we had Maurice, we had Sean, and we had Gat in the 100, and then they doubled up in 200, and then the 4x1, 4x4. Now, 04 was 08. Alan was our last good show.
Yeah, there's cycles, because also that was when the old regime was cycling out. So if the games was maybe a year before, it could have looked different as well. So you know what? I feel like let's charge this one to the game. It's the Olympics, but let's charge it to the game, slate clean, and let's see what happens when they show up. And then it's in our country too. So let's see what happens, like if we have hometown pride to show up in New York, and then we can circle back and be like, all right, huddle up, team.
Yeah, let me be honest with you. I already put these folks on blast. I already put them on blast. These folks let these people come over here. Because now I'm thinking football. I'm a football player. And you married to one, so you know that home field advantage is like. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm sitting here like, oh, we finally got home field advantage. We ain't got to get on no planes. We ain't got to do no jet lagging. We ain't sleeping in our own beds. We ain't got to sleep in our own beds. We ain't got to go like, you know what I'm saying? We eat our normal food that we eat, our normal oxygen. We have no excuses. I don't want to hear no, well, the Team USA flew us in 2 days before, so I'm still jet lagged. No, you at home, Jack. So if you at home, Jack, if y'all let these folks come to your country, and because they ain't coming back no time soon.
No.
Y'all let these folks come to your country, and y'all let these folks do to y'all they did last summer. We the new Cowboys. At that point, America becomes the new Cowboys. If we don't show up this damn summer at the World Championships, we will become the new damn Dallas Cowboys. It'll be America's team and America's team. It'll fit right next to each other. America's team and America's team. Because they ain't doing shit. They're going to the playoffs and they ain't bringing nothing back. And I told the boy the other day on the show, I said, boy, America turns to the damn Cowboys. They go into the ship, but they ain't bringing nothing back. It don't do no good to have a good season. It don't do no good to have a whole great season and then you can't bring a gold medal back. That's Cowboys. And here we are, Dallas Cowboy fans being naive, thinking that we're going to take over again. It's not happening until we change some stuff.
That's because y'all sound dumb every year. Every year y'all sound dumb. Just so that's out there. We're going to the ship. No, you're not. With a cruise ship for vacation, that's it. That's it. Ain't going nowhere. So I'm going to hold out hope. If y'all are listening, reach out to us. I'm always here to talk, chat it up, figure out what can be done. Like, but hit us up for real. Like, and then also get off the goddamn internet. Get off of Instagram. Stop posting drills and sweat. Do work.
Boy, listen, look at here. You just hit them with number one thing right there. Like, get off the damn internet. Like, when you go to work, go to work.
You know,
don't know if anybody gonna see it. Let it be seen by whoever the hell sitting there coaching you, training you. That annoys me when I see. So you had the time to sit your phone down to show us what you was doing. That means your mind ain't on where it's supposed to be at because you got another brain cell to go think about putting on goddamn Twitter.
Yes, Dennis had a strict rule: no phones out at practice. Like they had to go in your bag, and if you saw it out, like we trained at the NTC. You know, it's got those steep hills. Mm-hmm. You had 4 hills and then your workout still. So there were no phones at practice because that was when like Twitter was all right. Facebook was popping. Instagram had just started to come around. So there were no phones at practice. There wasn't video in any kind of drills or nothing. He was like, why?
Unless I'm doing it. That's how like a lot of people don't even know how many people I actually train because I tell them that like, you cannot, when you are here at practice, you're at school, okay? You cannot bring that phone out. Headphones. If you're working out and I don't have to train, all right, like now, go ahead. But if we on a track, anything like that, you can't even wear headphones, right? I mean, I know how can you hear me if you're not paying attention to me? And if you're not paying attention to me, how can you get better? So therefore, if you own your phone, then you're not giving me your undivided attention, which means you're wasting my time right now. And you're wasting your time. And you're wasting your money because you're paying me for it. So you need to figure it out.
There's no, I mean, we could warm up with headphones, but when it's time for like the workout,
trying to get it. Trying to get you better hear me.
I'm probably gonna cuss you out, so I want you to feel this full cuss out.
But hold on though. But that was when you became a veteran though. When you're a veteran, you're a pro now. You can warm up your headphones. I don't need to tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to go, okay, now take your headphones off. But for me, when it's like, if you haven't reached that veteran status to where you've made a team or you've been on a circus like this, you don't earn the right to warm up with headphones on. You haven't made it there yet. You haven't earned that right. Why? Because I can't trust that you still doing it right now in your warm-up. If you don't made a team, you don't did all that, man. Look, let me know what time you want me on the track. You're professional now. Like I ain't gotta be there. But in the beginning, I know you gotta listen to everything I'm saying. You gotta first get there. I tell a lot of my athletes like, look, until you get a medal, you don't mean shit. I'm just saying, like I'm being honest. Until you get a medal, you have to do what I say. But when you get a medal, I do what you say then. It flips.
Dennis ain't never believed that shit, but I mean.
I work for you. You got a medal. I didn't know you got 3. Oh, I work for you, man. What you want to do today? You got none? You got no medals? You can't, man, you got to get your ass in the gym. Let's go right now. Right the hell damn now. Matter of fact, why get your ass in it's a different language then. You can get a medal. But then you ain't got no medal. Can't talk. Can't talk. You better be made a team or something. Top 3, you better do something, Jack. Don't be around here banging with your chest out. You ain't even race nobody yet.
Like, you gotta bust a few grapes before you get
something, man. Yeah, you can't be in here like Odin daughter, just being in here. Ain't just in here.
Foolish.
Hey, sis, we got to get off this thing. But before I get off this thing, there's a race coming up this weekend. Oh, did you see that? Elaine said that well, I don't know if she said it, but it's floating on my Twitter now. I got tagged. You see the record?
Yeah.
What you think?
I want to see her attempt. I would never peg her to be a 60 runner because I know that her top speed comes at the end of her race. Like, she isn't necessarily a starter. She isn't a bad starter, but she's not a phenomenal one. And everybody knows for the 60 and to break the record, you're going to have a flawless put together race. So unless they done worked on something that like we'll know about, because they don't make videos where she at. So maybe they got something cooking that, we don't know about. But I mean, I don't see it happening, but I want to see the attempt because maybe we haven't seen her run many 60s. So maybe her 60 will look different than her 100.
I can buy that. New girl, new sensation that just came out of nowhere Saturday or Sunday that I put up and went everywhere.
Mary Beth.
Mary Beth. What's your thoughts on Mary Beth this season?
I think that she'll keep improving for sure. Because I think like when I watched RaesTake, watching the confidence in her was really, really beautiful. And it's not like overconfidence where she like thinks that she's everything. She's like, nah, I'm ready and I've done this and no one's seen it, but I'm here. So what I really want to see is her translation from 60 to 100. Because just going back and looking at her cycles, it's been a little bit of a struggle isn't the word, but it just hasn't translated just yet. But also she's getting her grown woman self on and awareness. And as you get older in the sport, that does happen. So I think that she's got a bright future ahead of her. She's fun to watch. She's energetic. And I know that everybody is on her, all agents, all shoe companies, everything. So I want to see how she also manages that. I also want to see how she runs in traffic. Because everybody knows that I could run, 7-0 by myself. But what's going to happen when when somebody else has that same speed? Because then that's when Bambi legs come, or that mental. So I want to see, that mental fight in her. But from what I know, she hasn't had it easy. So I think that plays a part, and also really good sprinters as well. Like, you got a little bit of a dog in you.
You think she make top 8 at USA's? You think potentially
outdoor?
Based on what you're saying right now?
Outdoor?
You think she's one of the top 8 fastest females outdoors right now?
Yes, I'll give her a top 8.
Top 8. Top 6?
Now you're getting greedy, because also like sometimes the like between 1st and 5th is an eyelash. So it's just a lean. I mean, look at what we've seen, and like there's been ties in races. So I think that if her form holds true and she stays healthy, I think that she'll wake up a lot of people and excite a lot of people as well.
Top 2. She can be top 2.
I'm not discounting her at all. I really like.
I understand you are, but Ray get to say it the way Ray want to say it. You know what I'm saying? Ray ain't got to be correct the way that you thought. Ray get to say what you want to say. Ray is sitting here saying, "No, she going top 2. She going top 2 in America." I'm telling you right now. And again, I'm not disrespecting no other female sprinter. I'm just basing off of what I saw, basing off of what I know about sprinting, basing it off of talking to her, basing it off of things that I've seen in the past other sprinters. I'm not saying that I'm just saying respectfully. You can't say that somebody who just dropped 709 can't be considered in the top 2-3 in America.
I agree.
You can't. It's like if you don't mess up from right now where you're at this point, if you don't do nothing wrong, you have to be top 3 in America. Because if you at 7-0 and you get a little better, you at 6'9". And 6'9" inside, that's 6'7" outside all day long with a wing.
All day, yeah.
So I can't sit here and say you ain't top 3 material. You top 3 material, and then based off of how she blasts out, you top 3 material. Because again, if she had like a transition and we saw her on the second end get fast, but the fact that I've seen you go 0 to 60 already, I'm not calling out no names. And I say this, but all I'm saying is, if that girl is beside you and she in 0 to 60 like that, you finna have to work with that bad start to come catch her. Now, if she got a head full of steam and she thinking about the same shit you was thinking about when you was at the Olympic Games, this is my moment, I'm not gonna lose this. You know what I'm saying? If she in a race with that type of head full of steam and she get that type of start, who the hell can run her down? If anybody running down, it won't be but like 1 or 2 people. So she's not missing that team.
I think yes, I think that, and especially like when I watched her race and watched her accelerate through the line, like she wanted more space. I was like, ooh, she wants more real estate. Like she wasn't reaching for the line. She wasn't, she wasn't butt kicking to try to get there. She's technically sound. And then what I do think, and I'll probably get crucified for that, she's going to be really good for the sport TV wise as well. She's going to bring another aspect, and I'm not even talking like racially at all. I think that she's got like a really good story from the stuff that I've Googled and read, stuff that she's been through. And I know that TV love stories.
Yeah. Well, I'm just calling it what it is. You know, when it's RaesTake, baby, I'm just calling it what it is, man. She can lift the sport up, Jack. What you mean? She can get us in a whole lot. Do what folks don't understand now. Mary Beth can make you famous. How can Mary Beth make you famous? Now, Mary Beth running fast, and then you in the race. Listen, I'm just saying it because that's how I got famous. I got famous just because I was in the race with both, and everybody was watching. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, Mary Beth. Mary Beth can take track and field, at least in America, and put it up like to where people will watch us now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's keep it real. Nobody even watches us till the time for the Olympic Games. But now you got a Maria Sharapova out here that every shoe company, everybody is out here throwing up. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? She everywhere. Again, same thing Sha'Carri did. But Sha'Carri did it on a stage to where she got about, I would say, half of America. And I'm not saying black. I'm saying black, white, whatever. She got about half of America. Maria Sharapova, a track and field, can go get the other half. To where now everybody's actually watching us. Like the whole America is watching us. Because again, the personalities are so offset. Then they offset perfect. To where it's like, now track and field wins. What I will say may end up happening is, some things you can't avoid, which is like black versus white. You can't avoid that in America. But even at that rate, if we can get the attention on our sport, it's going to benefit the sport now. And now it's like, well, the way I look at it is the right people will start to watch because somebody like her is in it now. So now the right people will be asking questions like, wait, y'all only make what? Now you got people like, that companies that's actually on the stock market exchange, like, oh, that one little Mary Beth, let's watch. Now you got billionaires looking at track and field like, well, what is that sport? That's really a sport? Yeah, we really need money. Come on, Mary Beth.
I'm excited to like watch. I know she races this weekend, and then I think she's gonna go to USA's. And I want to see what happens because it's the World Indoor year too. So I am very interested to watch the cycle of things. Like I love being on this side of it now because I can still get excited about it without having to do the workouts. Because
Hey, speaking of workouts, I need to get in here because I got people working out. Here's the beautiful part about it. The beautiful part about it is at least people that are working out are pros. All right, Odin and Marcus Chambers and you know what I'm saying? It's people that you ain't got to be in there with, basically what I was saying earlier. If it had been my other crew, I'd have been out this thing a whole hour ago, like, oh, shit, let me go. I got to goddamn get in here. These folks ain't even going to remember the workout. I tell them to work out, and then they still going to forget it in the next 10 minutes. And like, that's my young crew. All right, sis. See, this is why my damn show is so long, because people don't understand. We be talking like we on a damn phone and ain't realize we both got life that we supposed to be living, and these people coming in and out the show probably saying the same thing. Y'all ass out the damn TV, man. Shit, go talk on the phone or something. We got to go to work. So, Kels, I appreciate you. And again, I am extremely proud of you for everything. Everything that's behind you, everything about you, your family, all of that. I'm your number one supporter, your big brother. I love you. I appreciate you for being on here. And we will definitely talk again soon. Tell all the RaesTake people bye and all that good stuff.
RaesTake, thank you for having me. If you have questions, comments, concerns, there's a box. No, I'm just joking. Text, hit up, email, Instagram, all of those things. Ask questions. That's the only way we're going to learn and get better.
That's it. All right, y'all. That's it. I'm going to let her go, and then we're going to let y'all go. Until next time. Oh, I forgot. I'm back on here tonight because I got to get on here with Anson because, my boy, our boy Anson. Yeah, me and him. Well, we got a late night show tonight, because we do it like Jimmy Fallon, so we're going to be you know, late night show. That ain't for everybody. So, but y'all tune back in tonight. If you want to drop in, see, let me know. But y'all tune back in tonight, 8:30. Red Cut Ray taking over. I know. Love y'all, people. Peace.